Maybe we can use factors behind perfect coffee. So let's start by watching this. We believe that coffee is more than just a drink. It's a culture, an economy, an art, a science, and a passion. So many of you will ask, how did it come to the Philippines? Well, coffee is a very rich history, almost as rich as its flavor. The first coffee tree was introduced in Lipa, Batangas in 1740. We will pay tribute to the unwavering spirit of hope, service, entrepreneurship, and hard work of our coffee makers. Let's watch their journey.
Hello, I'm Lamar Valenzuela. I run and operate this business. The name is Cafe Densa. We've been in the coffee business for about 2 years. First branch is in Mangahan. Nag-start sa April 2018. And then, the next one, this branch, started operating last December 2019. So, nung nag-open to ng 2019, okay naman siya. As in, maraming customers, tapos gusto marami mag-event. Kasi this place, the Sireno branch is bigger than the Mangahan branch. It can cater up to 120 person. So, December, January, February, happy kami dahil marami kami excited, nalubukan kami, and marami natutuwa na makapunta dito sa lugar natin. So, from March, nalungkot kami dahil nga biglang nagkaroon ng pandemic. So, that is not something we expected. So, kami, we have to do something about it. So, a day after na announce mga March 16, we gathered up all our remaining food, and then binubugasan siya, and then we try to give it sa mga frontliners, dun sa mga wala nang makain, kasi instead na dahil nga pinaklose lahat ng food establishments, so affected din kami. Yun, binigyan na lang namin siya dun sa yung mga pagkain, kesa masira, binigyan namin sa mga pangangailangan. So, mostly, ang ginagawa namin ngayon is, yun nga, nagpapagayit kami and then nagpapag-ikaw and also delivery para, ang tawag dito, makover lahat yung mga pangangailangan ng customers namin. Okay, for the entrepreneurs or owners of businesses na kagaya ko, ang suggestion ko sa inyo is, una, huwag mag-give up, huwag magpaghinaan ng loob. And then, offer new products. Think of ideas para yung mga customers is bumalik sa'yo. So, the idea is, ayusin yung part of the customer service, yung quality ng food, ng drinks, ganyan. And also, dapat affordable yung magiging prices.
Hi everyone, my name is Alvin Toritecan, and I am a seafarer. I work on board a cruise ship as a part of the bar team. I've been doing this for 4 years now. Now, the pandemic has sent us home. At alam nating lahat na ang pandemya ito ay nagdulot ng tigil operasyon sa lahat ng cruise ship companies sa buong mundo. March 17, nung nagsimula kaming tumigil o nang tumigil ang operasyon ng aming kumpanya. I was still on board that time and maswerte ako na patapos na yung kontrata ko. Natapos yung kontrata ko ng April 15 of this year. At since April 15, we still stayed afloat for another 100 days bago kami tuloy nakauwi sa Pilipinas. At during the 3 months or more than 3 months, kami ay no work, no pay. During that time na no work, no pay kami, I took the opportunity or the chance to think about kung ano ang gagawin ko para makapag-generate ng income dahil alam namin na matatagalan bago kami bumalik sa operasyon. I stumbled upon the coffee, yung Bosker coffee nga, which was featured in the video. So ilan lamang yan sa mga naisip namin paraan para makapag-generate ng income. So, me and my wife also have done some high-risk investments basically to generate more funds to create more investments. For us to be prepared na rin para sa future. Because ako at ang asawa ko, we are both seafarers and now we are basically jobless. To all OFWs out there, not only OFWs actually, but everyone who's experiencing this economic difficulty during this pandemic, let's not lose hope. If you're planning to start a business, starting little is always a good way to start. Doing at your fortes, your hobbies, ganun. Also, plan ahead. Mas maganda pag-isipan yung tatahakin mong negosyo, yung sisimulan mong negosyo. At huwag din mahihiyang magtanong sa mga nakakaalam na. Huwag ka rin matakot na mag-take ng risk dahil talagang mahirap kumita ng pera. Lalo na sa sitwasyon natin ngayon. So, thank you very much.
Our company is named Prosperite. This is a cooperative, so it means farmers are owning this company for many years. Actually, the company started in 1949, and farmers have created a processing tool in the north of France in order to be able to deliver milk. We do milk ingredient, but we do also UHT milk, and this is our topic today. And okay, so milk collected in the Hauts-de-France in an area of 80 kilometers around our dairy facility, which makes it very precise. Our consumer know where our milk is coming from. And one important precision regarding the type of farming we are doing in north of France, this is family farming. The average cows per farm is about 50 cows, so which is really human size. And we will see, and we will explain our cows are one of the symbolic brands of the regions is called Saveur en Or, means golden savory, because in this part of France there are many farming and food products processed in this region, which stands as a guarantee of a premium. Our region is a peculiar area, north of France, close to the sea, close to the channels, and quite cold and rainy. Ideal conditions for farming, ideal conditions for milk. Hauts-de-France is one of the first farming regions of France. A lot of cultivations are done there. This is a region for many products, for vegetables, for beer, because there's a lot of barley, for sugar, even champagne is on the borderline of these regions. And some famous brands that are well known a bit worldwide have factory operations in north of France, like Danone, Häagen-Dazs, doing cream milk, ice cream, Le Safre doing yeast, Roquette, Lactalis, quite a number of worldwide companies. And as far as dairy is concerned, North Hauts-de-France is considered as one of the first regions of France collecting milk in many dairy companies. So Prosperite UHT milk, we deliver milk with a lot of know-how, and this is what we are going to show you. And this know-how starts in the farms. We are the way we collect milk, the way our farmers are conducting practice is very important for the quality of milk. First, milk is collected every day, and collection is done in refrigerated tanks every 72 hours, so in a very classic standard farms. This is a picture of our factory located in the countryside, where all the milk is collected and processed in different types of products. First stage is milk receptions, to be sure that the milk has a good quality. The farming practice allows to ensure the quality of the milk at the farm, but there are also, of course, controls when the milk is received in the factory. Once the controls are made, we start the first stage of pasteurizations. Pasteurizations aims at making the milk safe. It does not denature the taste of the milk. It's a mild heat treatment, which allow further process. The way we are doing UHT milk, it means sterilizations done in sterile rooms, where bottles and milk is filled in sterile bottles in pressurized rooms free from any external contamination. Sterilization process, then bottlings. The bottles are HDPE plastic bottles made on the factory, which minimize the transport.
Well, to further understand the know-how process of creating the creamiest and milkiest Prosperite UHT full cream milk, let's watch this video.
The milk is collected from our farmers every 72 hours before being transported by tanker truck in refrigerated tanks at a temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. We test the milk to check for any presence of antibiotics. The factory has a packaging line which produces 1 litre and half-litre bottles of milk. With 16,000 bottles processed every hour, the work is split into 3 stages: extrusion, outer packaging and logistics. The CCP is a machine that tests bottles on the production line itself. We test all of our bottles to check their leak-proof. If the bottle meets requirements, it continues down the production line. If not, it is ejected from the circuit. A camera checks all the bottles to find any defects. We then draw the milk from the pasteurization tank, which has been prepared in advance. The milk passes through a homogenizer which breaks up fat globules in order to prevent fat from rising to the top. Our milk is then sterilized at 143 degrees Celsius for 4 seconds before reaching the aseptic packaging machine. The next step is to fit the bottle tops and label every bottle. We adjust packaging to the order. Bottles are grouped into batches of 6 or 8 before being sent to the palletizer. We stack the milk onto pallets and a cover is placed over the batches. To make sure the pallets are traceable, a production forklift driver takes a picture of each one so that it can be identified. The pallet is then stored on racks. Before the milk is loaded, we carry out a final check called the sniff test. We inspect every pallet in this way before loading it onto the truck.
Now, this event is really getting better and better. Well, we will now be joined by our special guest who made a huge impact to other people in their own little ways. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's all welcome our guests for today. Starting it off with Miss Aida Soto, past president of Rotary Club Mandaluyong Uptown and trainer of Rotary Barista Academy. Next up, we have Miss Karen Castro, transforming president of Rotary Club of San Juan Central. And joining us via Zoom, we got Ms. Gerald Valenzuela, certified barista and owner of Cafe de Esa, the first ever panda-themed coffee shop in the Philippines. And of course, last but definitely not the least, we got Mr. Jonel Brescio, graduate of Rotary Barista Academy and is now a certified barista. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me just say that because of you guys and the people behind the coffee industry that we're actually here celebrating Coffee Day. This is what the program is aiming for, really. Not just to highlight coffee as a beverage or promote Prosperite as a great coffee partner, but most of all to show the world that we have these people who does not only have the expertise in coffee, but really have the passion to use their knowledge and resources to help other people. So Ms. Ida, just got a few questions for you. So we've seen the video earlier, the Rotary Barista Academy and your contribution in helping a group of people with disability to use their talents and skill. How did you come up with that idea?
Actually, this was projects for persons with disability was spearheaded by the charter president of Rotary Club of San Juan Central, and we joined forces to have programs and projects for the persons with disability. We had housekeeping and then barista. So we found ways and means to educate and for them to be able to learn a skill, persons with disabilities.
Anything you want to add, Ms. Karen?
This project is collaboration with Rotary Club of Uptown Mandaluyong and Rotary Club of San Juan. Yes. In line with celebrating our coffee month.
I think I personally think that's a really, really great initiative from our partners over here.
What is a perfect cup of coffee for me? A perfect cup of coffee for me is coffee that you can enjoy every time. Coffee, just like food or other beverages, is highly preferential. Being able to taste coffee is a skill that you need to develop. And it's only by constant tasting and association that you get to define what is a perfect cup of coffee for you. But if you are just starting to taste coffee, really, the perfect cup of coffee is coffee that you can enjoy, whether the coffee be roasted dark, whether be the coffee roasted medium or light. So there is really no other way to know how the coffee tastes except by trying. So even though you see similar flavor notes in the coffee bags that you purchase, these coffees taste different. One of the things that got me hooked into coffee was realizing that it is not your pursuit for the perfect cup of coffee that makes drinking coffee fulfilling, but rather the entire process of just tasting and somewhere along those lines you taste something that you never thought you could taste in coffee. And coffee being a high value crop changes its flavor, even though it has come from the same origin every year due to how the climate is changing. So it's a never-ending pursuit of that perfect cup. One of the most important things that we stand by in Trails and Traces Coffee Roasters is that our coffees must be 100% traceable. Having coffee that is traceable allows us to roast the coffee at its fullest. Without knowing the origin, we would be like going blind every time we roast. Being there in the farmers and considering the people behind the coffee gives us a guide. It allows us to understand why the coffee has been like that, why the coffee tastes like that. And knowing how the coffee tastes from the processing of the farm, the picking, it enables us to roast the coffee just at the right degree so that the people at home can enjoy it to the fullest.
Thank you so much to our coffee enthusiasts, Mr. Mandrake Ferrer of Trails and Chases Coffee, Quezon City, and of course, Mr. Sofiak Pak from Cambodia for being part of this coffee webinar. We hope that you'll continue pursuing your interest in the coffee industry, and more power to the both of you. So, this is it, the moment that we've all been waiting for. We will now evaluate the coffee that were prepared earlier. Please note that none of our guests have actually used UHT full cream milk in their coffees before, so we'll test if the taste can really live up to their standards and expectations. Let's start with Ms. Ida. So how do you find your coffee?
The one I just drank is perfect froth, perfect milk, just the right sweetness, don't need of sugar, just absolutely the perfect cup in the perfect time of the day.
That sounds good. Well, how do you think the milk affects the holistic taste of the coffee itself?
Especially for latte and cappuccino, what you pick is the milk. So that's the really, aside of course, the coffee is its main ingredient. So it has to be the correct consistency, as I said, the right sweetness, and then voila, you have the perfect cup of coffee.
Right. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that is Prosperity is an eco-friendly UHT milk that fits perfectly in your favorite barista beverages. And it will really amaze you by its fresh milky taste and functionalities. Basically because this came from grass-fed cows and is GMO-free. It helps amplify the coffee profile as a whole because of its high-quality natural fat content of 3.6%. Well, Miss Karen, do you think Miss Prosperity live up to your standards in making like the perfect cup of coffee?
Yes, I love coffee. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Well, I certainly do love my coffee as well. Well, according to European Bartender School in Paris, Prosperity UHT milk is very easy to work with due to the stability of the milk produced by the natural high-fat content. You'll be able to recreate not only visually but also tastefully exceptional coffee beverages. You can use it in cappuccinos, just like what Ms. Ida mentioned, to get smooth foams with the best texture and stability. And for flat whites and latte lovers, your latte art will be on top with a perfectly silky milk made with Prosperity milk. Not only does it taste good, its nutritional content and positive impact on health is also amazing. What can you say about the Prosperity milk, Joe?
The milk gave him beautiful foam.
Wow. Well, that's certainly something coming from an expert barista. Well, do you guys agree with me that in order to create the perfect cup of coffee, we should not just factor in ingredients like milk, coffee, or the machine, but most of all, the people behind making the coffee?
Definitely, yeah. The skill matters also, but of course, with the help of good brand of coffee, good brand of milk, you will just do wonders.
Perfect. Well, again, thank you guys so much for giving us your time and for inspiring other people. We can only hope that you'll continue to be a blessing to everyone. And again, we would like to thank our partners for this event. We have Cafe de Esa, Rotary Club Mandaluyong Uptown, and Rotary Club San Juan Central, Rotary Barista Academy, and Trail and Traces Coffee. Of course, this entire event will not be possible without the support of Ingredia, the French dairy expert, Prosperite UHT Full Cream Milk, and CTC Group Philippines. If you have any inquiries or concerns about Prosperite UHT Milk, please contact CTC Group Philippines Marketing, arm of Ingredia in the Philippines, and look for Ms. Ais Arevalo. You can check out the details below. And as we end this event, let's not forget the point of our discussion for today. The perfect cup of coffee does not just entail high-quality coffee beans with best-tasting milk. It is created with a synergy of all these ingredients bound together by the heart of those who created it. Until our next coffee date, again, my name is Nicky Cruz, and this is The Daily Grind.